My experience as someone who suffered hearing loss and the position that I have makes me, I think, an ideal spot to be a pioneer, to not only advocate for people who have hearing loss, but to be in a position to formulate policy that best serve people that do have a hearing loss. You might be surprised to know that nearly 4 million Australians, which is about 15% of our population, suffer hearing loss. So it's a large number of people. It's important that we recognise that the needs for people with hearing loss are important. It's important as a government that we have policies to address those issues, and it's important for me as a minister in that government to have an understanding of what it means.
Like many people, it took too long to address my hearing. It didn't, however, take all that long to realise that hearing aids weren't going to restore my hearing to 100%. And that was really quite disappointing because the advertisements had suggested that it would. Anyway, that's where Soundfair can help. They show how hearing conditions don't necessarily have to be an obstacle, and they work with you and the community to make sure that this is so. I'm delighted to be one of their hearing pioneers.
I have also worn hearing aids since I was 10 years old, and as someone who was ashamed to wear my hearing aids for so many years, I'm incredibly passionate about changing the conversations and perceptions around hearing loss and hearing health. I am super excited to be part of Soundfair's pioneer movement, as I 100% share the same goals and attitude that hearing conditions are about far more than just ears. I'm really looking forward to working with Soundfair to build these conversations and to ultimately work towards ensuring that we have hearing equality in Australia.
All of my education and research work for many years has been about making hearing care for adults and children accessible to them and their families. And by that I really mean that we form partnerships with our clients and with their families. And that's why I'm so excited to be a pioneer.
Hearing equality is incredibly important and has been an ongoing passion of mine. At Audiology Australia, we believe that everyone has the right to communicate and interact with the world in ways that are fulfilling and meaningful to them. Unfortunately, all too often, there are social barriers to be overcome that exist beyond individual hearing loss. That's why I'm excited to be part of Pioneers, so that together we can work to eliminate the social and emotional barriers that come with hearing loss, such as discrimination, marginalisation and isolation. Sounds fair to me.
Having grown up with a mother who was a teacher that specialised in working with children with hearing loss and impairment, I learned early on the importance of creating an environment that provides equal opportunity, so that everyone living with a hearing condition can be the best version of themselves. To be a pioneer and to be part of a movement that will support the social and emotional well-being of people living with a hearing condition and that looks to create real systems change is genuinely exciting. I look forward to contributing to that movement in any way that I can, and with 1 in 6 Australians suffering from hearing loss, you can be rest assured that this movement will not only impact those with a hearing condition, but society as a whole.
I was inspired to work in the area because my father lost his hearing as a very young man, and that made a big impact on me as I was growing up. I think all people should have access to hearing, really keen to see the barriers to good hearing reduced. I also work with Rotary International in their action group on hearing and with Rotary Club of Melbourne, so I'm hoping we can help.
My dad suffered from hearing loss, didn't really understand the full impact of it, but now I've got a much better idea. So please come along on the journey with us, and yeah, I think there should be some great benefits for everyone.
I'm LOTTE BUNDESEN, and I'm the Managing Director of the AUDA Institute in Denmark. It gives me great joy to announce AUDA Institute's partnership with Soundfair. At AUDA Institute, we have for more than a decade been building a community that embraces person-centered care and empowers people with hearing loss to get the hearing care they need. Soundfair's determination to create accessibility and a sense of social, emotional and cultural belonging for people with hearing loss makes Soundfair a natural fit for us as a partner. It is a purpose that we support wholeheartedly.
I spent the last 40 years working as a noise and vibration specialist, and sadly I have seen firsthand what deafness can do to people socially and emotionally. I've seen firsthand how excessive noise and vibration can interfere with people's health and well-being, and I've heard firsthand how awful some of our public spaces are for noisiness. I've also heard firsthand how central sound is to many art forms, and I've been very privileged to have designed a few concert halls and theatres myself, and I've seen the joy that good sound can bring to people. My day job involves designing with sound. This is a process that involves skill and science and aesthetics.
The name is Soundfair, and I think that sounds fair, don't you? It sounds fair to me to make hearing a national health priority and really look after our community, the 1 in 6 people in Australia who suffer emotional and mental anxiety and negative impacts from being isolated due to hearing loss and hearing health conditions.